other hobbies other than Harley, working on bikes. Thought I'd take you guys for the ride for go track down something I like to collect. I was hesitant to actually even kind of film this one. Actually, my wife Kayla, she decided to say, hey, you should try to do this one and give it a shot, so why not? We are gonna go and track down some comic books. Alright, before you click off the video and you think, I didn't come here for comic books, it's a little more than that, what I'm going to tell you. Now, the craze of all the Marvel and all that stuff and movies or whatever you think about it, that's okay. I'm not a huge watcher. I don't think I've even seen most of the films, but the ones that I have watched since I was young is X-Men. Now, the X-Men have been owned by Fox recently. They got bought out, or whatever, a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago or so now, by Disney. And for those that know anything about Disney, obviously, and Marvel movies, whatever they touch seems to turn to gold. I've never promoted it on the channel. I actually have an eBay account that sells strictly comic books. It's something fun I got into a couple years ago. I wanted to just do something different, and I always heard people buying and selling them, and you don't need to be I don't want to call it a nerd or into like comic books to do it. It's more of like a financial stock that you can buy into. Now, is it like anything with the Bitcoin and all that? No, not at all, but they hold their value quite well over the years I've had mine, and I've sold a handful of mine. I've made pretty good money on the return during the quiet time like this. So when I'm not out riding during the winter season or wrenching on something in the garage that you guys have seen or will be upcoming, I go and do this, and every once in a while I get the itch to it, where I go into a comic book store, find a certain X-Men comic that's the only one I stick to, unless I know completely separate from what we normally have on the channel, but I thought it'd be something fun. It's nice out, and I wanted to go do this in general. Been to the one where we're going. I haven't called the guy prior. That's kind of takes the fun out of it. Support some local small business shops, and let's check it out. So we will reconvene once we get to the store. See you guys there. All right, this place is called Comic Showcase in Wixom, if you're ever interested. All right, let's see if we can find some treasure, fellas. How you doing, man? Okay, nice little find in there. Got this for about $10. X-Men 146, the Uncanny one. These are the ones that are usually worth the money to save up with. This is called Raw. It's ungraded. This goes for probably 30 to 40 bucks. So not a huge find, but if you actually get this graded and sent out, it could be worth up to 200 bucks. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't the store owner actually want to do that? Let's jump into that now on the bike. Why would the store owner not want to just sell it for more? Well, simply because he has a storefront, and he's, like I said in the earlier part of it, they got to turn these comics a lot faster if they're not selling much of anything else, or if it's been sitting on the shelf for longer, the clientele. In fact, I even asked him, so why don't you sell online? It's too much hassle for them. They got to turn over so much that to put the time into every single comic to put online for them, it just isn't worth it. So if you go on eBay, that's where these comics are mostly sold on, where you make the good turnover for it. It takes a little time, but if you're not doing anything during the winter time, or things are slow and you're having, looking for something fun to do, that's why I kind of do it. And I've been collecting a handful of them, trying to get a run going. So that one's 146. I've ranged all over ones. I have like first appearance from like Gambit and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can look into and do it, but I think it's a win. Is it huge? No. X-Men are becoming really hard to get, just for the fact that Disney bought Fox and they're going to make a movie, but no one knows. That's the whole deal with these right now. No one knows what movie's going to come out from Disney, and the first one that gets popped off is probably going to be worth lots and lots of money. So just like the first appearance Spider-Man, it was already worth money, but since they've been making movies for a long time, it's obviously worth pretty well. And of course, like the original X-Men are pretty much hard to touch. Anything 100, the count from the Uncanny X-Men, 100 and below, are difficult to one, track down, and two, you're gonna pay out the ass for it, just because how much they're worth, and they hold value. You know, you may think that, oh, how much is a book? There are collectors trying to do what they call, like I said, a run, which is 1 through whatever 200, and if they find one that you have that's in mint condition and part of the run, it can be worth quite a bit. So, and as you slowly put these together, I mean, some of these runs you put together, they can be worth anywhere from 10 to 20 to almost 100 grand, depending on the quality of the comics. And I gotta grab some gas here, and we will finish up here. All filled back up, beautiful 93 octane. Well, I know this isn't the normal content that if you subscribe to on the FXR stuff. I appreciate you guys clicking onto it. It's still nice out, so I just enjoy riding out and doing stuff like this, getting as many I can get in, because once the winter sets here, obviously we don't get to ride. So, or I guess if you want to ride during the snow and ice, by all means rip it, but try to get as many rides in. Plenty of projects coming up in this bike and Grant's bike that we had the big reveal of his FXR, so you guys are going to see a lot more of that content obviously as the winter rolls in. But when it's nice out, I love riding. This is what it's about, going out and riding your bike. Ride your shit, that's what it's about, people. Alright, that wraps up for this one, guys. You have made it all the way through. I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button, tap that like, press the notification, leave a comment below, and tell me what you think. For those who have already subscribed, thank you. And as always, stay free, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.